We sacrifice and we are winning. Wise man says that the CARO-KANN is a solid defense, but they don't know this line. Hello, today I will show you how to crush the CARO-KANN in 10 moves. I discovered this line watching the 1960 World Chess Championship between Tal and Botvinnik, and here we have e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, takes, and here one of the most two common replies from black side are bishop f5. Okay, so we will simply play knight g3, bishop g6, and instead of developing the knight on f3, that is the most common move, here we will develop the knight on e2. With a trick idea, we want to go on f4 to trade this bishop. So black is not naive, and he will play h6 to save the bishop, but anyway, knight f4. Bishop h7, and everyone knows that the CARO-KANN players want to reach this setup with e6, knight f6, and bishop d6 or bishop e7 because is the most solid ones, and we will play against that. So bishop c4, e6, castle, knight f6, rook e1, and now black has two choices. Bishop e7 or bishop d6. We will cover both, but let's cover first bishop d6. And now we have this beautiful sacrifice, bishop takes. So, if black doesn't accept the piece sacrifice and just castle, we will play bishop f5, trade this strong light square bishop from black side and be happy up a pawn, but black is a gentleman and he will gladly take our free piece, so f takes, and now knight takes, targeting the queen and preparing a discover attack from the rook. Queen c8 and queen f3. Preparing some nasty things. Here black tries to castle manually and king f7, but now queen b3. Preparing a discover attack, and if black doesn't do anything, we will, for example, black will simply play rook e8. To do an example, we have knight d8. Now is if king f7, if king f8, queen f7 is mate. I will show you. Sorry, okay. And if king f6, anyway, queen f7 is mate. So black will cover the diagonal with the knight, knight d5. Now again attacking c4. And well, if black retreats, there will be the same problem. So black will simply play rook e8, and we take the knight. Black takes, and queen f3. Again, now king g8, and we protect the knight, and we are preparing also bishop takes h6. So here we have g6, just to cover all the stuff, and here we simply play knight h5, preparing a fork on f6, and if black moves the knight on d7, we will take this pawn. So let's cover bishop e7. On this move, black had also the choice of playing bishop b7, but it's pretty much the same story. So bishop b7, and now bishop takes. Again, if black castle, we will trade the bishop. So black takes, and now we take queen d7, and here we take the g7 pawn with check. So if king f8, just take the h6 pawn, preparing a nasty discover, and if king f7 instead, we will bring back our knight. So what happened now? Now black will have to develop in some way, and he will see that the queen is on d7. Black will play knight a6 just to connect the rooks, but here we will go to the attack with the move bishop h6. Here rook e8, try to fight for the file, but again bishop g7, threatening the rook. Here black will for sure play rook g8, threatening the bishop, and now again attack knight h5, and this knight cannot be taken because otherwise it follows a mate with queen takes h5, bishop g6, queen f3, bishop f6, and queen takes. So here black will not take the knight. So what can black do? Here, if black takes the bishop, we will just take back with h knight, but if black plays bishop f5, try to gain this knight on e6, we will play queen f3. And well, what happens if black takes the knight? Black takes, we will take the knight. And now, if black takes the bishop, we will gain the queen. If black takes the knight, we will deliver checkmate. So, some of you maybe are wondering, yeah, but this line was not forced because we played h6. So, let's go back a couple of moves and see what can happen. Here we played h6 in the previous variation, but black is not forced to push that pawn. But, well, black, as a usual CARO-KANN player, will want to reach this setup with, again, knight f6, e6, bishop e7, or bishop d6, and here we'll play x. But we are not scared, so we will play knight f4. Here, e6 and h4. Try to annoying this light square bishop on g6. So here black will play queen bishop e7, and we will go for h5. And here the bishop is kind of trapped because let's say that the bishop goes on e4, we will play f3, and after the bishop goes on d5, we will push the pawn on c4 and the bishop is trapped. So the only available square for the bishop is the one on f5. But here we will take the bishop, ruin black's structure, and after e takes, we will play c3 first, after castle, bishop d3, targeting this pawn on f5. And if black wants to protect it, he will play g6, but we will just trade, and play bishop c4, check. So, here there are a couple of things. Here, if black plays knight d5, we will play queen f3, threatening this knight, and this knight cannot be protected. So if black plays a4, why a4? Because I will show you the variation now. We will play knight takes, bishop pawn takes, queen takes, and bishop takes, and after king h8, if king g7, it follows bishop h6, check, and we will win the rook. After king h8, we have bishop takes b7, and we are up a lot of material, and this is the reason why a5, because otherwise, after this move, black rook will not be covered, sorry. Okay, but here it was not forced. Black could have also played other stuff, like on this move. Black could have also played something like king h8, but this is a blunder because it follows knight takes g6 and the h-pawn is pinned. So after king g7, we will play knight takes f8 and we will be up a lot of material and the game will be finished. And this is how you crush the CARO-KANN in only 10 moves.